Welcome to Wealth Talk Podcast. And right now I'm here with a very special guest, and this guest actually invited me to his home, which I'm very, very honored, and he's doing many things all around Ontario. We see him giving so much gems, just giving free game to you every day, so you probably heard of him already without me even saying his name, but we have our special guest today, Sherard McQueen. Thank you for being on the Wealth Talk Podcast.
Yes, I appreciate it. I'm glad to be here at home. It's very comfortable for me. It's easy to get things done. And what I normally do with all my scheduling is I just try to do, if I can do multiple things at once and still be 100% effective, I like to do it.
Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. Now, one of my mentors, Raymond Aaron, told me that, if someone invites you to their house, that means that, it's a sign of respect, and for you to do that with me, and we're just getting to know each other, like I really am honored, like I do see it in a high regard. Just before this, I was at the multi-family conference and Kevin O'Leary was speaking, but he gave me his time. And, for someone to reach out and actually give me his time, I know Kevin O'Leary is not giving me that right now. So I made sure I was here for the time that, you asked me,
Sure.
So yeah, man, I appreciate that. So with the Wealth Talk Podcast, of course we want to know, about the developments. We want to know the whole ins and outs of the game, but we like to take it all the way back. All right. So I want to go to, where were you born? What was life like growing up?
Sure.
And the things that you went through as a child.
I'm American, so I was born in Buffalo, New York.
Okay.
Teenage parents, or just out of teenhood. I think maybe my dad was 20, my mom was 19. I'm the first born son, but the second child. But my parents are both educated. They both graduated from university, so they always instilled those values in me. We grew up as a close-knit family till 5. And then my parents separated after that time, and they were separated for about 7 years, but like a true love story. They reunited when I was about 12, yes. And that was very good for me, because I think as a young man, I mean, listen, the single moms out there, they do an amazing job stepping in and filling that role. But of course, if you have that male figure there, you know what, it's very amazing. So he came back, and he was never out of my life. He was there, but obviously you can't be there day to day if they're not
together,
coexisting, together. So it was amazing because they're back together, and then he's, my mentor. He's the one who showed me how to do things in business, how to behave, how to carry yourself, how to. He's a great salesperson.
Okay.
He sold cars for years. He was a top salesman. He was the general manager at Datsun before they became Nissan. Nissan bought them out.
Okay.
And then he also did pharmaceutical sales. So he used to sell for Upjohn Pharmaceuticals. So that's like a Pfizer, today.
Yeah,
that was one of the big companies back then. I don't know if they're still in business, but he was always doing sales. I was a good student. I would say my formative years up to about grade 8, I was a great student. High school, it got a little bit rocky there because it seemed like they wanted to kind of stream you in a certain direction. I was in enhanced class, so I was in a class for the gifted students. However, I didn't feel like I got to matriculate with the rest of the students because we had our own
like your own separate area.
We had our own separate, so we used to all matriculate together. So we were in the high school, but we weren't really interacting. But I felt it was closed off. I felt that the teachers really, weren't really supportive in exactly what I was looking to do. When you're talking about certain careers, real estate never came up.
Okay.
It was only like 8 careers I think that everyone had. So I think a lot of people chose careers based on family ties, things that they saw in their environment, in their life, but not necessarily, what the guidance counselor or whatever said. But, I did enough to make it to uni. I went to university.
But what at that time, what did you want to do at that time? Because it wasn't real estate. Was it real estate at that time?
No, I wanted to be a doctor.
Okay.
So the thing is, I wanted to be a doctor. Now, was that me thinking freely saying I wanted to be a doctor, or was it my mom, or was it someone else saying I want to be a doctor? Who knows? Because, who can dissociate those two things? So that was it. I wanted to be a doctor. I went to university. I took the necessary courses. I got into med school. I did a year of med school, and then I realized it really wasn't truly my calling. So, you know what? I stopped going to med school, and then we started doing a real estate course. I think I was like about 24.
Okay.
I took my real estate course, and fast forward 20 years. I've been licensed for 20 years. Been a broker own my own brokerage.
Okay,
so
but yeah,
that's it.
we know now, we know
Yeah,
now. But let's
you know
go.
what it
Let's
is.
go to then,
You know
right?
what it is.
Because like the doctor to real estate, like what was that switch? Was that like, okay, I'm gonna make a decision on my own, or was that like I just want to get into this, or like because if you're going for a doctor, the transition, like
Yeah.
what made you come to that?
Well, I mean, I think, like I told you, based on my father, based on like my family ties, based on blood, I was always a salesperson. So even when I was, in other arenas, I was always doing sales. I was always, working with other people. So that was nothing new. So I talked to my mom and said, okay, you know what, I'm gonna do a transition. Obviously, mom and dad weren't happy.
Yeah.
Because they said, oh man, you're gonna be a doctor. And at the time, doctor was the pinnacle.
Yeah,
I don't think anyone knew of anything else.
Every
So-
culture,
So if you're a
doctor or lawyer. So
or you're a lawyer, right? Then you made it.
Yeah,
So telling them you want to do real estate is kind of, less than what they signed up for.
Exactly.
But the good news was, I think around that time they started having all these shows on TV, Flip This House, Love It or List It, whatever the case may be. So I think real estate started going from the shadows into the foreground where people started understanding what it was about, what they could do. And actually at one point, both my parents actually got their real estate license. They practiced for like a couple years here, but they were in the States. They didn't maintain the license, but we came full circle.
Okay. So all this happened when you were still in the US, or were you in Canada now?
No, I got to Canada when I was 12. So everything really happened here. So I was here, I was 12, and then my parents reunited here. My dad had relocated from the States, and my mom has already relocated here. So I was in grade 6.
Okay.
And so all the real years that kind of molded me, been in Canada. I've been in Canada 32 years.
Oh, okay. All right. So talk about the come up now. So now you're in real estate, right? Or you got your license.
Yeah, I got my license.
So were you like because there's some people who invested in already before their license, was it just something like a whole new thing for you, or you kind of knew about it, you were kind of had investments already or anything like?
No, I was already had done some work in real estate. Before I got my license, I was working with another realtor and I was giving them leads. So in the first beginning, so I guess around that time, 23, 24, 25, at least back in my day, people started buying. I know now in your guys' time, it's a little bit harder to get into real estate, but people were starting to buy $250,000 houses. I wasn't licensed, but again, people knew me. I had a pretty good network and they trusted me. I had a lot of currency in that regard. So I started referring them out. But the problem was the gentleman, and I like it, he's a good guy, but he's giving me like $500 a deal.
Oh.
Now it's like $500 a deal. I mean, for reference, I don't know, his checks are like $6,000 or something, right? And he's giving me like $500.
At first it was probably nice.
And I mean, I don't know, $5 bills was never nice. It never felt right. I said, it never felt right to me. So I said, $5 bills, hold on, like, what's really happening here? So I referred them 3-4 deals, and on top of you referring out the deals, if everything goes right, you get $500. If everything goes wrong, you get nothing but complaints. So if it doesn't go right, you still have to hear about it. And all you made is $500 because you're doing the referral. So that's when you also realize, hey, your word is your bond. And regardless, if you're getting paid, even if you're given a free service, it doesn't matter. You still have the same obligations, rights, and responsibilities. So that's why I tell people, be careful, even if you're referring out somebody or anything like that, because you still have to maintain it. So I was getting like $500 a deal. And then I said, you know what? And then he had sold me like a house for myself, and then I renovated it with my business partner, still my business partner. We've been business partners like 25 years. And, we renovated it, we were buying and we were flipping some houses. We weren't making much money, but maybe it's 10 grand, maybe it's 20 grand. But we were doing a lot of the work ourselves because they were basically cosmetic. So painting, you know what I'm saying? Maybe a little bit of flooring, maybe changing the switch plate covers. So we were doing that and maybe we'd make a little bit of money. So we were kind of into that space already when I got my real estate license. So I understood the nature of investing and what it took.
Okay, nice. So now you're getting a full commission, of course, so on top of the flip or whatever.
So that's what it became initially. It was let's just save, not me selling other people real estate, is let me save money, right? So that's why I tell everyone to get their real estate license. You know what? I hate to, first of all, I think long term, like realtors, I think they're gonna have a tough time being able to exist in the new world, because there's so much information. Like the States has Zillow. I think in Canada now we've got House Sigma. So when they de-streamed MLS, and now people are actually able to get comparable sales prices and stuff. So you have so much data. Like, do you need an intermediary? Now you have stuff that happened with COVID, where everyone was looking online anyway. People weren't allowed to do open houses, so people have had an opportunity to get comfortable, dealing with real estate without necessarily seeing it or not having an agent. I think you have something called property guys. You have some other people now who are letting you just list on MLS without paying out commission. So, but at the time, my whole initiative was just to pretty much say, you know what, I don't need to worry about anything. I'm just gonna save the money on the commission, and I want to sell it myself. I was doing a lot of instructing on telling the agents, this is how I want it sold, or this is how we should present the house, or whatever. And then I just said, you know what, I need to be the one having this conversation, because I don't necessarily know.
You're pretty much an agent already. It's just that
I was doing all the work for 1/20th of the money.
Oh, wow.
So then I said, you know what can I do really to get in the driver's seat? And then that changed all the conversations we were having. And I started getting better results, and then I was able to get on to MLS, where I could actually see the properties and do the things I need to do.
Okay, so now you have your license, and so what was it from there? So now obviously you're investing, but I'm sure you're learning more of the game, because I'm in it. I'm about 8 years in now, and it's like every day you're learning something new. You know what I mean? Every single day you're learning something new. So when you came in, tell me about that. Like, what were you first focused on, and then what did it evolve to?
Like as soon as I came in, like I was doing the flips. I was in Brampton, so I was in the suburbs. And, that's kind of what I was focused on.
Shout out to Brampton, by the way.
Yes, Brampton, I did a quick
We got
30.
links over here in the background. I
did a quick 30. Brampton? Like we keep it light at home. You know what I'm saying? We're in the barbershop. This is how we do it. But, there's my brother-in-law. He just come in. We're gonna keep everything. We're gonna keep everything good. So basically, that's what it was. But then I started doing sales for other people as a way to make money to invest in the flips. So it's like, okay, where can I get more revenue from? Obviously, we're gonna be able to sell more. We have more revenue, and then we can just run the program from there. So that was really good. And honestly, I told people, like, getting a real estate license at the time was just a license to print money. Like I said, moving forward in the future, I don't know if it's gonna have the same. If you're gonna be able to do the same thing, but for now, definitely get your license, even if you're just.
I think so. I think just in the game, especially if more of us collaborate with each other and more of us work with each other, I think a lot more opportunities will happen. Right. I just interviewed Isaac as well, and I'm interviewing you right now. And you guys are. I see you guys are leaders, right? Because you guys took it to a next level, right? And we need to push you guys up, because I already see what you're doing, and I see what he's doing. You guys are providing opportunities, for people such as myself, other realtors, and other investors and stuff like that. So definitely when you're doing that and you're selling the properties, I want you to go through kind of like how your real estate evolution happened. So you had a few flips, and then what? Like you got more properties, and
we had a few flips, so that was always good. And then I was flipping a property down on Roxton. So this is College Street downtown. I had a property. I picked up like $400,000. And this is 08, and we put like $100,000 into it. We're supposed to make like 200. So this is like, okay, now we're gonna really make some real money. 08 happened, and not only did we not make money, we lost $75,000 because of 08.
Oh wow!
So it was like.
So just go deeper. What was 08?
08, like there's a financial crisis in the States. So like the bottom fell out of the market, and that's it. Everywhere. We catch a cold in the States, and that was it. So. The whole market, we were like, okay, we're gonna be in good shape. We're gonna make this money. In your mind, you're already on to your next thing. Because I always tell people, you don't make money when you sell. You make money when you buy. So if you buy right, everything's out. It's already set up. Some people are like, they want to buy, maybe it's not the right location, maybe it's not the right time, maybe it's not the right price, but then they want to do it anyway, thinking, don't worry, the market is going to save me. Never work like that, because even if the market saves you once, that's probably the worst thing that could happen, because now you use that as a baseline. That market did that time, it saved me. No, you have to stick to fundamentals. So we bought right, And even with the correction, we lost 75 grand. Some people lost more. Some people weren't even able to, they weren't even able to exist anymore. Like maybe they lost everything. So we were still in a good position right there where we were able to, you know, get out with our 75 grand loss, which we had maybe, let's say total, we put in 300,000. So we put the renovation cost and we put the down payment and then we put the closing cost. So let's say we put down 300 grand. We only got back 225. We sold it. So at that time,
so you're able to sell it.
Right, we still sold it. We lost 75
grand. But you took a loss. I get you.
But that's one thing that people are afraid to do in real estate. They're afraid to lose. Me, I'm not afraid to lose because I don't look at one deal. I look at the whole picture. So I said, listen, a lot of my money is tied up in here. I'm going to lose my 75 grand, but other people are losing all over the place. Now I have this 225. I'm going to make up for the 75 grand I lost plus more. So this is how we got into pre-construction. There was a developer, Monarch, and they had some properties right downtown off of Stadium Road, the 90 Stadium Road. And at the time, there were 600 square feet condos for 205, and they were on the water. Wow. 205, right? And they were paying, it was only 5% deposit, and they were paying 5% commission. Wow. So it's like they're giving me free units, right? So I sold and I'd never done pre-con before. But I just start calling people.
So someone introduced it to it or what?
No, I literally was on MLS. So after I sold, we lost our 75 grand. We're like, and it was a dark and rainy day. Like literally, it was cloudy. It was rainy. The financial crisis, everybody's moping. And I called my business partner. He was at home. He lived off Park Lawn and Lakeshore. So he lived right near where the sales center was, because the sales center wasn't near where the site was. It was a couple blocks up. And I said, you seen, this looks like a really, really good opportunity. They're selling me like condos on the water for 205. And he's like, I'll meet you there. So that's the type of guy he is. He wasn't a guy who was like afraid. We understood we had to make a next step, and it was calculated, and we moved. So we went there that day. And we're like, that's it. So we made calls to everybody who was in my network. We sold 16 deals. We bought 9 more units. Right? So we got paid the 5% commission on all those deals. The 5% on the deals we bought, we took it off. We bought 9 units. By the time they were ready and built, because they had already started construction, I think they were ready like 2009. Maybe it's like 15, 16 months later. So it wasn't a long period because they were already under construction. And they all went up like 150. They went up like 150 grand. So now we had all these units that had increased in value, and we had an opportunity to hold some, sell some, refinance some. Our clients sold some. So that deal right there was like maybe a $2 million move. That was because we were able to, you know, really galvanize ourselves in a tough moment, still go out and buy, even during a financial crisis when everybody else's money was in their pocket. But these are the rules of engagement with real estate, with crypto, with stocks. I don't do those stocks in crypto, but I know the rules. The problem is people understand the rules, but emotionally they can't adjust. They know that you buy real estate if it's down. But normally what people do, as soon as it's down, they put their hands in their pocket. Like right now, crypto's down. If it was a good deal to you at 65,000 for Bitcoin, and it's at 32, you should think it's even a better deal. It's dollar cost averaging. You said you should buy more. What's really gonna happen? There's a sell-off. People take their lumps. They go pout in the corner, and they're like, "Oh, I don't want to do this again." No, because you didn't follow the rules of engagement. So I know the rules of real estate is if something's on sale, you buy more of it. Like anything else. If you're in the grocery aisle and it's like toilet paper, this was $5 and now they have 2 for $5, you stock up on it. But when it comes to this, people don't have the correct mentality that they need, and they really can't actually do what they need to do. Even if they read about in a book, actually applying it to them is very difficult. So once we did that, then we had a more financial basis, and then we started going to developers, consistently moving from there, and we started partnering with developers, having little parties in the city, having parties in the developers' headquarters or their sales centers, where we invite people out and we'd sell like 50, 60 units in a night. So I was doing 50, 60. So I said, well, there's no point in me really running around opening doors for people trying to sell real estate. When I can get 50, 60 people to come to me, if I do that 3 times a year, it's 180 units. So we did that, and then we opened up a real estate brokerage. Instead of me inviting out 50, 60 people from my network, now I had 20 highly trained agents that I trained, and they were all inviting people out. And then I took an override on their commission. So let's say the they were getting paid 5%.
Yeah.
I told the developer I wanted 6, so I wanted 1% for me. I don't want to touch their commission. I need an extra point. I'm throwing the party. I want my overrides, whatever, and I would still take the split just from the regular split from commission, but I wouldn't be asking for anything over and above. So we were just doing deals like that. We did those for like 5-6 years. So that's what got me in the development space, because you meet a lot of developers. They take you behind the curtain. You kind of learn a little bit. They're not going to show you the whole picture, believe me. But you learn a little from this developer, a little from that one, and you got to kind of create a picture yourself, and then you move from there.
Oh, Lee, that was a lot that to unpack right there, what you just said, because I want to even go from the beginning there, because you said that you sold them, and then the commission you put in and you bought units.
Oh yeah, I
so
never
you didn't want.
I never take commission.
Okay.
I never take commission. So what I tell realtors too, if you're selling pre-con, don't take the commission. So normally, if people don't do pre-con, what happens is there's an amount. So say they're gonna pay you 5%. They normally pay you like 1 or 2% in the beginning.
Up front,
and then at the end they pay you the rest. Take the money from the beginning. That's your living. I'm gonna live not. But that other money, say you have 3%. Now you do 2 deals, so you have 6%. Now you take that 6%, in my case, and you buy a unit with the 6%. So you either reduce the money that you owe on a unit, right? And now you leave that money in that unit. That commission now appreciates, rather than you just leaving the money sitting there and getting
it's
paid.
Not going to grow the same.
With 3 at the end. Now, if I've secured a unit,
so what, builders are doing that?
Well, I mean, right now, to be honest, in this current market, they're probably not a lot, because the market is so robust. Like, builders don't even want to pay commission. I mean, exactly. I might be one of those guys.
Hey man, come on, let me get his pockets. I'm gonna open the book.
So it's like, hurry up and get in where you fit in, because again, because everything is so open right now. There's clients coming right to developers because they want to be first in line. So if a developer says, "Oh yeah, I'm gonna let you first in line, but you gotta come direct to me," they're gonna come because they just want to get a unit. Of course. So things are changing. But even if I buy a unit for myself, I would never take the commission. I would just leave it, put it on the unit, let it appreciate, help me close at the end instead of me scrambling around for money to close. I already have everything ready. So that's kind of how we were doing it, and at the time made sense. One thing I'll say though is for every market, there's an opportunity. So there's different ways. Like, that was the way I did it back then. It's fine. Exactly. But again, remember, we had the internet, but it wasn't the focal point. Right? We didn't have IG. We had Facebook at the time. So there's certain limitations on Facebook. You have 5,000 friends. There's a whole thing. Now you guys have TikTok. You have Snapchat. So this is the age of social media. So maybe you're not gonna be able to sell through developers to get paid the same amount of commission, but maybe you guys are gonna have the opportunity to sell more units. But just advertising online. I had to have those people in my network to be able to call, and I had to physically call them. Now you're telling me you're putting up Facebook and Google ads, and you're moving 50 units in a year, and these are probably a lot of people that you don't know.
Honestly, I'm grateful, because like, I live in Brampton, right? So Brampton's primarily brown and black people, you know, and like, I would say honestly, last year I would say 90% of my clients were brown. Right, really? And it's not that's not as common, but it's because I have allocation, I have the units, and then you want the units, but and I've grown relationships with them, so hopefully we continue to work. But prior to that, like with resale, I would say 90% of my clients were black, but like you said, with pre-construction, when you have access to the inventory, anyone would pretty much come to you, right?
So that now, but you've done something that I wouldn't have been able to do before, because I didn't have access to people outside of my network. So how do you create a different or a new network, right? Now you have the internet, you have your own social media channel. Honestly, when I had sold those units for that developer Monarch, my broker of record came in and he saw what I was doing. And the next weekend, now he didn't give me any commission. He didn't even say a pat on the head, nothing. But like 2 weekends later, he had a camera in there and he was shooting a commercial, but he was shooting an actual television commercial.
Oh, wow.
This is 08. So instead of shooting something like, we're going to put up on IG, or we're going to put it up, he shot for television, and God knows what that cost him to put it up there. So again, you had a lot more barriers to entry because now you're gonna do a television commercial. You're gonna pay for CP24 or whatever, whatever it is. Shout out to CP24, but whatever it is, now you gotta pay for that. Where now you can have everything on your own channel and just do whatever it is you need to do. Control your own image. We didn't have those options, right?
For sure. Even when I started in real estate too, like, and it's not that long ago, about 8 years ago. There was no digital signing. Now everything's digital. Everything's digital.
You don't have to meet these guys. So my whole thing is, I'm gonna be honest here, cause just you guys got it easy. I'm telling you right now. Because so there's a lot of other stuff though, but you guys have it easy because now you're in a situation where you don't have to meet the client. Because digital signing during COVID, it became a little bit more prevalent where they're like, these are going to be able to be legal. Because when I sent out my first agreement of purchase sales in 2019, I tried to do digital and my lawyer told me no.
The lawyers,
the lawyer, and now, fast forward 2022, it's like these are totally legally binding. Like it's better than another signature because they know what laptop
exactly. Exactly.
So you guys have it easy. You guys can go online, put up some ads, be behind it that no one sees you, nameless, faceless. Send them over here. You have your allocation. They sign. You get a check. Maybe it's not 5%. Maybe it's 1%. Maybe it's 2,500. Maybe it's $5,000. Whatever it is. But now you've done 10 deals. But the good news is, it's making sure you make when these people exit, make sure you're still there.
Exactly.
That's the key. And if you ask me, which you didn't, but you might have asked me, my biggest real estate mistake is not managing my book of business properly. And I think as realtors, we need to treat our book of business more like insurance brokers. Insurance guys, they have the book right there. They know, okay, I have these 1,000 clients, and this is the amount of residual income. A lot of real estate agents retired. They have no plan. They have 500 people they service. They retire. Those 500 people or their kids or whatever just call someone else. They don't manage it. And I think in this age, you have to manage that book of business and you have to say, you know what, listen, I can transition this on to another realtor. I'm 55, I'm 60, or I'm 40, whatever age you're getting out. Let me get another guy in my office. Let me build him up for the next 2-3 years. You know what, mentor him, get him used to my clients, because client is a relationship-based business. And let him take over the business, and maybe he gives me 10% residual or 20% on any deal he does from any one of these clients or an offshoot of these clients. But we just retire, throw away the business. So I never really maintained that book, and I never really had like a MailChimp or email blast or whatever. And I think that's the biggest mistake, because right now, like, you might be big on TikTok or social media or Snapchat. What if your account gets hacked? What if your account gets shut down? So you spend hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars, time, energy, money, creating something on someone else's platform. Right? And so that, to me, that also speaks to realtors. Because if you're not building for yourself, which you're not, you're on my platform. So if I cut off the taps, you don't have nothing to sell. Now you're, okay, I'm going to sell resale. All those deals that you did, these 50 deals that you did, new construction, they're gone. So that's why I tell people it's great to get in a space where you're actually creating the homes. Even if you're not building 100, 200 homes, it's a skill that you need to learn so someone else isn't controlling your revenue. Yeah, no, for sure. So that's, like, thank you for giving such insight, and, when you're talking about with your business now, because you said you were going and you were able to do these parties and get 20, 50 deals each one, right? And now it's different because the allocation, we don't get as much, right? In terms of like it's really a commodity, if you could get, we're gonna give you like 5 units. We're gonna make you come and sit down, kiss the ring for 5 units. That's what's happening. You see, that's what's happening, right? So I want you to talk about your, like, in your case, right? So now when you did that, you had your brokerage, you had all these things that are going on, right? And then was it like, okay, this is running steadily, I want to start building. Like, I want to know, like, how did you get from the transition to selling so much and then started getting into developing? Well, listen, I had a plan from when I started. So Brad J. Lamb was my predecessor. Okay. He was downtown. We don't have anything in common, but in terms of, like, we don't talk, whatever, but I was able to watch him from a distance. Okay. And I respected a lot of the things that he was doing business-wise. He had a brokerage on King Street. I had a brokerage on King Street.
Okay.
He was a little closer down because I couldn't afford that space he was at. So I was at like
He
King
was
and
close to
Strong.
Bathurst, right?
Yeah, he was at Bathurst and I was at Strong. So I was like 2-3 blocks.
Still close.
Right, I was at 2-3 blocks on the same side of the street. He had 3,000 square feet at 1,200. But the thing is, like, you know, say imitation the highest form of flattery. So I thought, you know what, let me see what he's doing. So from the beginning, his plan was he was doing the development downtown already, and he had high value agents, not a lot of agents. He wasn't a Remax with 1,000 agents. He had 8 or 10 agents, and they were putting in the work. And I said, okay, I want to do the same thing. So I had 20 agents. So when I started my brokerage, I already had my exit strategy. My exit strategy was always to do development. It was always the plan from day one. I want to sell these units. I want to bring in 20 agents who will be able to take over the clients, who will be able to bring people to sell my developments for me, which is what Brad does. He does have people outside, but he already had at least, he knew when he launched a project, oh, I'm going to sell 200 units because I got these 10 agents and they're each going to do 20. He already had them trained. He trained them in his likeness and his image, and they went out and they did what they needed to do. So I thought it was very good. So I saw that and I did the same thing. Now, I was doing that for, I don't know, maybe 6-7 years. So about like the amount of time you've been in.
Okay.
What exited, and I won't get into the developer, what happened was you always think your commissions are secure. And with some developers, they're definitely secure. With other developers you see right now, you know, they say they're, you know, building and they're not, and they want to give you back your money after 7 years.
I don't know if you know Icona in Vine. It was called Icona Towers.
Oh, but I heard about it.
Yeah, you know, that happened with me, man. Even right now, the lawyers are still trying to collect commissions from this guy.
Well,
but I don't know if he's going to do it. But yeah, every agent, I remember people were in there for probably like a month selling off this guy's units. He added more floors, then he added a third building. Everyone's selling up, and he couldn't build.
And then he couldn't build.
Yeah.
And then the units that you sold, he didn't want to pay you commission.
Exactly.
So very dicey situation. Yeah. And to me, again, I guess because I've been on the other side, I don't know where they've come from or where their background, I can't speak on it, but I guess being on the other side, I want to make sure whatever agreement, if I say it's going to be 1%, if I say it's 5%, whatever it is, you're going to get paid.
Yeah.
Because I've been on the other side, I know this is how people feed their family, and I know that allocation is a commodity right now, but the world always comes full circle. You see kids now with afros and cornrows. We thought they would never come back. Everything comes back. So you know what I'm saying? Like, I don't ever want to think, oh, I'm a developer, I'm up here, I don't need these peons down here. No, you never think of that. We're all equal and we all have a role to play. But for me, I don't think that I was valued in terms of my sales ability and stuff I was bringing to the table with these developers. So I had sold like 50, 60 units. And I was owed maybe like 300 G's on this one development. And this guy, he's going bankrupt. So everybody knew, everyone heard the tea leaves. Okay, he's gonna go bankrupt. So I'm in a panic mode, right? Like, where's my 300 grand? So I call everybody I know over there to try to get my 300,000. And what wound up happening is he sat down with me just out of respect. Like, he didn't have to. He could have just continued going bankrupt and done what he was doing. But I approached him in a certain way because I knew if I got mad at him and through my lawyer, my business partner, he'll tell you, he was like, Sherard, this is one of your better decisions. He was like, let's get a lawyer. I'm like, we're never gonna get paid like this. Like, we'll never see the money. I came in, like, I sent him a gift. Please talk to me. You know, I came on a different level because I knew that he had the control. Like, never negotiate from a position of weakness. So I already knew what it was. So I came a certain way. He sat down with me. He's like, okay, you can't get this commission, but let me tell you what you can do. You're owed 300 grand. You're gonna buy 3 units. I'm gonna give you 100,000 off each unit, and you have 2 weeks to close. I said, done.
Oh,
done.
wow.
So that's how I got my unit, because he was like, this is how it's gonna be. We're closing this building in 2 weeks, and if you want, so I said, let's get it up, right? So he did exactly what he said he was gonna do. He took 100 grand off each unit. And then I closed the units. The best part is, again, I made more money off that because not only did I make the 300, the units went up 120 in the next year. So after I sold them, got my HC rebate, everything, then I made another 3 on top of it. But because I came to them the right way. And I think, I don't know if these people are going, what school people are going to where they just think arguing with someone, yelling at them, beating on their door. My mama says you get more with honey than vinegar. So it's like, let me see what I could do to keep this relationship going. And I got paid my commission. Now, I had talked to other realtors because I knew other realtors that were like family to me. They didn't work on my brokerage, but they were people that are close. And I'm like, listen, let me talk to them and add your commission onto my unit, or let me try to get you a unit too. Because no, we're gonna do it another way.
They want to do a lawyer route.
They've never seen the money. The money's still
exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
They're not going to.
It doesn't make sense. So anyway, but that was my final call because I knew at that point, you know what? I've got to be in control. I didn't do all this, not work a desk job, not work for someone else to be controlling me, because I had other times where, you know, I do maybe a couple of $500 million, like that it's not off me, but for the brokerage. So it's even worse because I had other agents selling units for me. Now, at the end of the day, I'm supposed to get a check to the broker so I can pay out everybody their commission. And it's supposed to be like 60 days after closing. You know how it goes.
Exactly.
60 days passes, it's 90.
Nothing,
90 days passes, it's 120. Guys over on a yacht, you know what I'm saying? Where's my money? Again, going there, my hat, my hand. Excuse me, Mr. Developer, I know we have a contractual obligation that you pay me in 60 days. You know, it's this winter. My folks need Christmas gifts. Like, bro, I don't want to be in that situation. I said, you know what, let me do it and do it a certain way. So that's kind of how, you know, we evolved. And then once we saw that, we knew we had to do it ourselves, and then we started. So like it's already almost been like 10 years now.
So talk about the first one though. Now you made that decision. You said, okay, I'm gonna go do it on my own. Right? Did you know what you were doing or no?
Yeah, you know what? I tell people all the time, if you want to learn about new construction and development, do renovations. Renovations harder than new construction. New construction, everything's new. Like there's nothing to tap into, nothing slanted, nothing disjointed. We had done from like 10 years ago, some custom homes downtown Toronto. We had the underpin. So that means you have to dig out the basement to increase the ceiling height. Cause a lot of the ceiling heights are like 5 feet down there. Now you can make it a duplex, increase the value, renovate the place. People might not have heard about, but there's houses actually falling down downtown because a lot of these are like row houses too. So it's not even a detached. So you're underpinning your basement. So you have to, in sections, reinforce the foundation. So they do it like 3 blocks. So you'll go around and take out 1/3 of the foundation, dig it down, reinforcement, and do the other 1/3.
And in
under
pieces,
1/3,
so that the father's house doesn't fall.
So the house doesn't fall. But now imagine you're doing that attached to somebody else's foundation on both sides. So when we're talking about a lot of tricky stuff, new construction's easy. So that's why I tell people, I want to get in development. Do a couple of flips, especially downtown Toronto, some older houses, not like a little cosmetic stuff. And you're gonna get into some really deeper stuff, and then you see, oh man, like this is. There's levels to this. It's very difficult. So we knew what we were doing. I also owned a property in North Carolina. So we had it for 17 years. And that was a complete, it was like 22,000 square foot warehouse flex space. And we turned it into a charter school, which my mom was operating for about 20 years in there. So we sold it to her after. So we had it 17, and then she had it after that where she was managing a school there. So we had done that, and that was like a huge renovation on a much larger scale, because on like a couple of acres. So we had done that. We had done custom homes downtown. So honestly, the new construction,
it's kind of like you knew what to do already. Kind of
a lot easier. So then when we started doing new construction, we had several sites that we're building. We built a retirement home in Aurelia that we still own and manage. That's on 8 acres, it's 70,000 square feet. So we just started.
So hold on, so you built that? You built it from the ground up? So that's what I'm saying.
From the rubble.
Because I know you're saying rehab and stuff is harder, but with rehab, you strip it and then you rebuild it. But when you're building new, it's more of a plan first. It's more of a vision first, right?
Everything's planned, and that's what's nice. Because everything's there, everything's planned. You have your blueprints, you have your architect, like mechanical engineer. They've already gone through it. They already know. You almost know what the outcome is. But
it's not the same people you bring in though, is it? Like for rehab and for new pre-construction, don't you bring it like you said? Because I know I have a client of mine, and he's thinking about making this transition. Like he owns like a block of properties and stuff. I'll have you meet him still. But he had to do like a soil test. He had to do like all this different kind of stuff. I don't know if you're familiar with all that stuff, right?
Yeah, you got to.
So how did you know about all this stuff?
No, well, you know what? Again, because you've been it's kind of like one of these things you've been learning along the way. To get your Terry on, so you have to be you got to go to that course. So there's something there. To get your financing, they're going to give you a list of criteria. Right? Okay, we need what you're talking about, ESA. We need environmental soil tests and sampling and stuff. They need a geotechnical report to make sure the soil is sound and how much weight, that it could take. So you need all these things that maybe see if there's any groundwater, what you're building. So they give you a list of these things. You already have a general sense because you've been in the construction industry. You've been in renovation. So by that time, we're already 10, 11 years in. So you've kind of seen it. Then you visit with other people on site. I find I guess because we had sold and we had some friends who had been working in the development space, they let you onto their site. They're like, these are the things you need. Here's some manuals that you need to read. Here's this, here's that. You know what I'm saying? So you're kind of
you're learning on the go. But so that I want you to talk about that, because it sounds like you have an idea, but you're moving with faith, kind of in a sense, where you're like, okay, the next thing comes up, and then you go there, like the city tells, okay, you got to go do this. Then all right, let me go do that. Then you got to do this. You got to do that. So it's kind of like you're learning along the way. Is that pretty much how it's for you?
Well, because you already have the experience when you're doing the renovation, the construction. And some of these are $1 million, some of them are multi-million dollars. So you're already there. You already know how to do the wiring, electrical, plumbing, and everything like that. So it starts from the baby steps. It starts from your first renovation where you're just putting in a toilet. And then it goes into, okay, what's under here, and the plumbing. And then, you know what I'm saying, we're working with licensed contractors. So the same guy, like the same electrician who's going to do your renovation and wire up everything, he's going to do your new construction too. But he's also going to tell you, if you interview the electrician, he's going to tell you, oh man, I love new construction. It's everything's there. The walls are open. Everything is beautiful. That's what he's going to tell you. You're going to be like, hey, this is a lot easier to deal with. So I think actually we had a harder path. Some people might have came in and maybe, I don't know what their background was, but when you're in the construction space and you're doing the renovations and you're doing the rehab, because like renovation is a broad word, but you can also be like doing full buildings. So we did full buildings where you're taking them down to, just the studs and then rebuilding everything in there. So those might be huge projects. They might even be bigger than a new construction project. But they're going to be more difficult. The timelines might be a little bit easier because you don't have to get the permits from the city. So I think in terms of construction and that type of know-how, which is a lot of people honestly don't want to get their hands dirty, we already had that. Then we had the real estate experience. Then we had the university experience. So we, scholastically, we're there. Then we had the other aspect of it where, we've done the real estate sales. So we've got that covered. Then we did construction. So the last thing was really the planning process. And see, that's the paperwork. That's the administration side. But we have some great planners that we work with. And I think that was the main thing is, okay, how do we get the planning process? How do we find a partner? How do we find a city that really wants to work with us, is pro-development, and wants to push development forward and adhere to the federal mandate? Because obviously federally they're talking about bringing more houses, trying to get home ownership more affordable for people. So how are you going to do that? Well, it's a supply and demand issue. Like they're trying to do something right now with the interest rates. Well, let's raise the interest rate. I don't see how that's helping supply and demand.
No, it's not. Exactly.
Like, okay, so we're going to make the house that you're already in less affordable. So if you're in a variable, it's going to be harder to maintain. If you want to get into a property, now it's harder than it was before. I don't, it seems a little bit counterintuitive to me. But the way to do it is obviously give people, more access to homes. So we wanted to find a municipality that was interested in doing that. Niagara, they've been great. Aurelia has been great. So we try to work in some of the secondary markets. But, amazingly enough, those secondary markets have now become primary markets because obviously people are moving out. People are moving out. And then obviously we have the highways and stuff are getting more efficient. Cars are getting more efficient. Even electric cars having longer range. GO train is getting better. Subway system. So things that were once outside are becoming in. And then you have other places that are becoming hubs that weren't hubs. So before you're in Niagara, you want to do something, you got to come all the way to Toronto. But now you can go to Hamilton. So it makes it a lot closer. Now you're only 25, 30 minutes away from a city with 1 million people, and they have more stuff where they didn't have before.
Yeah.
Right? So there's all this runoff, there's a trickle-down effect. And now Niagara becomes its own hub where we're building out there. So now people in Welland, Port Colborne, and Thorold, and all these people, now they can come to Niagara and they get services. So this is how, you know, we kind of bring everything together and we try to get, you know, housing to the people.
Yeah, it's that, and talk about housing to the people, because I know the Niagara Project that you have. That's where I actually got to really know you.
Yes.
Lincoln, you know, he told me about you helped him get a barber shop from before that.
Right.
But then also after, one of my close friends, Dwayne Rodney, I don't know if you know him, but Dwayne Rodney.
Yeah,
So he got a unit. He's like, yo, Rich, because he's my client with real estate as well too, right? And he's like, yo, Rich, I'm hearing about some place in Niagara. What do you think about Niagara? Like, yeah, Niagara sounds good. Niagara sounds good. And then show me the numbers. I'm like, yo, that sounds like a good deal. Yeah. You know? And after,
too good. It's too good.
Yeah.
The deal was too good. The deal was too good. Yeah.
And I remember even after that, I talked to Lincoln too, and I was telling him about it. He's like, yeah, I got one. I'm like, yo, hold on, I want one too.
Yeah,
you know? But at that time, they were gone, you know?
It was too good.
But not only that was too good, though, but I know a number of people who got it from you where they're like, yo, the builder is working with me. Like, you know, let me put this down. So I want you to go into that, because you really help people have home ownership. You know, so that, and I know you didn't, it's not a matter of making money, because you would have made money from people who didn't have the money. So go deeper into that.
No, well, I think what it comes down, you have to give back. That was me. I told you my first deal was like, it was a 5% down deal. I had some deals with like Daniels or whatever where they're letting me put down monthly payment. And I think the program that they're running is good, where it's like $1,000 a month, or they've helped many of my clients who wouldn't have been able to get it, because a lot of times the issue is down payment. Is trying to create a savings plan for people. So it wasn't open to everybody, but yeah, I had a certain amount of units that I was like, hey, I'm good to sell these at $1,000 a month or $5,000 down, and pay me when you can. And we're gonna work with a certain group of people because we need to get them into home ownership. And I think that's one of the things about developers that I don't think people necessarily can comprehend. Like, we're here for the people. People think, oh, these guys just want to make money. No, I want to do what feels good to me. That's why I wanted to be a doctor. I want to help people. And then a byproduct of helping people has to make money. I don't want to make money and then not help people. It doesn't work for me. So yes, I can make money. Everyone can make money. Like, Amazon's making money. But believe me, he's making my life easy. So honestly, the amount of round packages that are coming to my door, it's crazy. He's helping me make money because he's helping me streamline my life. Because you know, he just sending stuff here that I used to have to go out and get, right? So that's the same thing. We're creating home ownership. So we thought it was important, you know, as a group to help, especially younger people get in, first-time home buyers, get into a property that was going to give them an opportunity to appreciate. And to me, it's the first one is the hardest.
Yeah, of course.
You don't know how to close. How do I get a mortgage? What is this? What's that? They give you a 60-page document. You don't know anything in it. You do it the first time, you have your property, you make some equity, you sell it. That's how people, once you get into the first one, this is what people don't understand. And this is why I love density so much. People come to me, you're a big bad developer. You love density because it makes you more money. No, I could build 50 houses at $1 million, it's 50 million. Or I could build 100 houses at 500,000. It's the same numbers to me. You know what I mean? It's 50 million. In gross revenue, not profit, of course, but how are we gonna get there? Right? But to me, when I reduce the price, increase the density, I let people who are not already in home ownership get in home ownership. Now, if I'm gonna go build $1 million houses, great. I have the same gross revenue, but there's already people who already own.
Exactly.
They're
set already.
They're moving from, they have something 600, 700,000 in the burbs where I'm out, and they're moving up to $1 million. They're already happy. But what about those people who have those barriers to entry? My first project in Niagara, we started, the first unit was $239,900. So that to me is a guy making $50,000 can qualify, right? Legitimately. And see, you have to understand what's going in our industry too, which I don't know if the government's really understanding, is when you put people in a position where they feel like they've been abandoned and they can't get into home ownership, they start doing stuff they shouldn't do. There's a lot of people making paperwork and documents and doing all this stuff, which I don't subscribe to any of that, especially as a developer. let me help you do it the right way. The right way is formulate a plan. Maybe it's $1,000 a month. After 2 years, you have $24,000. You know what I'm saying? At 239, 240, now you have 10% down. How did that happen? Now that $240,000 property is worth $350. Oh my God, that's $110 plus the money I put down. Oh, I don't have to move to Niagara. I don't have to live in it. I can rent it out for a year, sell it. Now I made it more appreciated. I got 150 grand from 24 that I got you $1,000 a month. Now I have 150. I could buy close to the home if I went. It gives people all the options. Then they get in that house. They're doing 4 or 5 years. They made 400 grand. Now next thing you know, 20 years later, they're in a $2 million house or whatever. They're refinancing, send their kids to school or whatever they need to do. They have that ownership, the equity, but you gotta start somewhere. So we have to really stop this, not my backyard. Because everybody's like, yeah, density is great, but not near me. But to me, you have to put people in a position to interact with people at all social stratas.
So because I was that strata. Not everyone knows the different social areas. Like I met someone a 2 days ago, and he was talking about like young offenders should be at like a younger. Adults should be. The kids should be like if they do something that they're not supposed to. It should be at a younger age. Right, but I had an experience where, I really got my reality check when I was like 17, right before I turned 18.
Right on the edge.
You know what I'm saying? Right before, and I thank God, because real estate, all this stuff, you need to have a clean thing, right?
You gotta be
but I'm talking about that because, with you understand the different levels. You understand there's people that don't have 20,000, 30,000, 40,000, but other developers won't know that. So when you're saying high density, you really had your mind thinking about these people.
You have to think about them. So I have a site right now in Crystal Beach, Fort Erie, because I was normally just doing Niagara, and those guys are good. Now Fort Erie, it's near Crystal Beach, is somewhere that when I was young, we used to come across the board into Canada and go to Crystal Beach. So it means a lot to me personally. So I had 4 acres there on the park, and I really went to about like 150 units right on the park.
Oh, wow.
And we got a lot of resistance from the city. Oh no, let's make 40 big houses on the park. I mean, we've seen this script before. So again, there's that disconnect. It's our park, and we don't want these Toronto people here, but I mean, we're all from somewhere. Unless we're Native Americans, we all come from somewhere else. Like this is not our land, and we have to respect it. And we can't say, well, not you here. Like, what if they said none of Scottish here, none of Irish here, none of the Jamaicans here, none of to me, I like Canada because it's a salad bowl. That's why I don't live in the States. Because people say, oh, yeah, sure, you can go to the States and make more money. Yeah, but it's not about just making money. It's about the culture you want to be involved in. So I really respect the fact that we're supposed to be all in this together. And so I don't want to have this not my backyard attitude where, we can have density, but it's got to be somewhere else. They were telling me when I was in Fort Erie, but there's some other land that's over here, down yonder that they can go. But they're not part of a community and they don't understand development, which I get, because now what happens is, but there's no bus service out there. There's no grocery stores out there. There's no services. We're trying to bring these people somewhere where there's services, and then because we're adding a tax base to this area, it's going to give everybody more services here, right? Now you can get that new ice skating rink, or you can get the bus service you want, or you can get the streets paved because you have tax dollars. But if you don't have tax dollars, where do you go? So developers are bringing those tax dollars, right? So all the immigrants who are coming in from other countries who want a stable economy, they're coming here. Developers are able to put them in these communities where they're actually helping the Canadians who are already there, but they have to understand the holistic picture.
Okay, wow. Yeah, because I see on even your social that you're at City Hall, and even when I was talking to Isaac, he was talking about, same thing you're talking about, government officials, city, and like the whole infrastructure and of what's going on behind the scenes. So that's why I say you guys are leaders, because we need people there, like in these meetings, letting them know that, we need places to go, because for me, being a sales representative, I have a lot of people there. Now they're asking, is there rent to own? Is there, they're asking for whatever they could do to try to get in,
They want something to get in, and they can't. Right? So then, like I said, you have people. I had another lady who owned an apartment building, and it was like, I think it was a 12 or 14 unit apartment building. She called me through a mutual friend. I said, I'll look at it. But I guess she was running a quote unquote illegal rooming house because she had a bunch of elderly people, so they were renting beds there.
Okay.
And so she had 3 people to each unit,
Yeah.
which isn't legal, which I get. So obviously they can't allow it, but on the grand scheme, it was like, where do these people go?
Yeah.
Where now do these people they were actually happy over here?
Yeah.
Where are they going?
Yeah,
Because
exactly.
They don't have
happy
these
there.
spaces.
Exactly.
So I'm not saying that she should be allowed to continue that endeavor. Absolutely not. But what options do we have for these people so that endeavor never exists? Where can we go where maybe someone wants to rent something, it's a smaller, maybe it's just a room with a communal space. There's other countries who are having these different options for people to be able to live.
Yeah.
Right? So what do you want to do? So we've got to give people maybe smaller spaces or a singular space. If they had a 400 square foot unit, or a bachelor, they'd be happy.
Happy, exactly.
Right? But if we don't have those options,
Yeah.
right? Then the people aren't gonna have any spaces to go. So we have to give people alternatives. We can't just look at the situation from one lens and say, okay, this is bad and this is right and this is wrong. It's like there's a lot of shades of gray. So yeah, this is wrong. You can't run an illegal rooming house because obviously there's fire safety and everything. So let's stop that. What are we gonna do in lieu of that? And how can we fast track it so we have more unique spaces to allow this problem to settle itself? How can we do that?
So are these meetings, like, are they moving forward though? Like when you're talking to the city and you're telling this kind of stuff, like, are they like agreeing with you or you're getting pushback? Like what's...
Well, again, it depends where you're at. Niagara Falls proper, I think there's a lot we're in a symbiotic relationship, but then you have some outside places that want to just stay small. Oh, we want to we're a little town, we want to stay a town. But I don't think anywhere here should be closed off. There's no gates at the beginning of any area, right? Everything is open. So you can't just say, it's like, just how can we do it responsibly? How can we allow the growth to happen responsibly? So that's where I think that it's very important, is to make sure that's done in a responsible fashion. And you know, it goes different between municipality to municipality. It goes different between city to city, how long it's gonna take. Some people let you start doing development in, you know, a year, 14 months. Some people it's like 3-4 years. They're you know, and obviously that's going to impact where you develop, because you're in an area where it's going to take 3 years before you get in the ground. Yeah, it's not going to make sense. Yeah, but there's another part of it. If it takes me 3 years to get in the ground and the prices went up by that much, the buyer is going to pay the new number. They could have paid a certain number already, and in 3 years been in their house. But now I've been held up for 3 years. So now what happens? I'm not going to sell it at 3 year ago price because I had to carry the land. I had expenses for 3 years. So where do those expenses get downloaded to? The consumer. You know what I'm saying? So again, we need a more holistic approach, and I think I think that people kind of understand that developers, what we do for the economy and for all of us to have like safe spaces to go in and live, then I think if we change the narrative and there's a paradigm shift, we can get going. But if there's this narrative like developers are, you know, bad and they're greedy and they're just money hungry, to me, I don't understand it. That's everybody wants to make money. Teachers who, you know, my mom she's a principal now or superintendent, but she's a teacher for 20 years. My grandma's a teacher. They're making $100 grand. They're not working for free. Nobody's working for free. Right? But they're not doing it to make $100 grand, because I know what my mom did, and I know the extra hours she put in, and I know the kids she picked up and helped or dropped off or whatever, or stayed late to help outside of those hours. So I never begrudge them. So I understand what they're doing for the community or firemen or whatever. But they all got to get paid a salary to make, you know, to be able to take home and you know, help their kids or their family. So that's what we're all in this for. So the narrative, like developers want to make all this money, I don't think people understand all the risk that comes with it. Buying a piece of land, you know, on speculation pretty much, because you don't have any permits in hand, going through a 14, 18, 2-3 year process, you know, digging up the land, doing the soil, like there's so many, there's like 150 steps from, you know, from just the concept to bringing it to fruition. Like no one's gonna do it unless there's a certain amount of financial gain in there. Like it wouldn't make sense. You would do something else. So I think people, if they understand that and really understand that we're also trying to bring housing and trying to avert this crisis. There's a real pandemic going on that people aren't talking about enough, and it's a housing crisis until you're in it and you don't have a place to go and you're with your mom and dad till you're 30 and you don't want to be. If you want to be, that's all good. But if you don't want to be, and when you can't move out and you don't have safe spaces, and young couples don't have anywhere to go, and new immigrants don't have places to go, then they understand, you know, that we're an integral part of the environment, what we're doing here.
Yeah, that's why the prices are going up so much, you know, and
Let's go.
so I see you have a next development that's coming up in Niagara, and well, you do, right? Because I've seen some like 3-story.
Those are gone. Those are gone. I was like, oh, do I have another project? No, I had another project. Went on sale in October or November last year. Sold out in like record time. Those are gone. So right now, actively for sale. No, there's no product.
Oh wow.
There's no product for sale that I have right now. We are going to be selling some stuff maybe the next month or two in Aurelia, which is great, near my retirement home. I have 2 14-story towers and another 12-story tower, and then I have 108 stacked towns. And then in Port Severin, which is in Muskoka, I have 22 like 3,000 square foot homes on the water, private docks. Those are starting at 1.5. So we can do stuff like that, but really and truly, even at the 1.5 million, I'm seeing stuff in Barrie off the water that's going for 1.5. Or you go to Friday Harbor and these are selling for 2-something million with private docks up and everything at 1.5. It's going to give people a real opportunity to have that ownership, which they didn't have, because I was looking and there was nothing even nowhere near that price range.
Holy, that's serious.
So giving people some opportunities, yes.
So you said you're doing some retirement homes, so you have one already, and you're building more or something like that?
Well, we have 8 acres. So on that site, we have 8 acres of land.
That you said that was one of your first construction?
One of the biggest ones because we were already doing some smaller construction.
Yeah.
But this was huge because 8 acres is 70,000 square feet, and it was brand new construction.
Wow.
So that was great. We own and operate it.
Okay. So you didn't just build it, so you guys are running it.
We run it. My business partner.
Oh wow.
All power to him.
Okay.
Because it's difficult and it's outside of my wheelhouse, because we have again, people don't understand, we have 60 employees. So that's 60 people that we're one of the largest employers in Aurelia.
Oh wow. Okay.
So 60 employees there, so it's amazing. We have 100, just over 100 amazing residents who call our building home. So we love and respect it. So we're adding another 62 bedroom units that's going to be joining through an atrium on the site, so they could share the amenities.
Okay.
And then we're doing 2 12 stories and a 14-story tower, or 2 14 stories and a 12. We're still deciding how it's gonna play out, but it's overlooking Lake Couchiching. So it's the same lake that like where Casino Rama is. So we're overlooking the water. Everything's gonna have water views. So we're gonna do 1 rental building, 2 condo buildings there. So we should be able to start that construction end of the year or beginning of next year. And then we have stacked towns in Aurelia as well. So
you're starting sales for those, or like you started it?
You know what? We're just trying to finalize. We had an open house at the city. So what happens is they do an open house where all the residents and you show them the plan of what you guys are doing. And so you got to do that first. You have to be confident in what you're gonna be building first before you go on sale. So we're doing that first. So hopefully in the fall we'll be able to release those and get another couple hundred families into home ownership, and then create a rental building as well, which as you know, rental market's very tight. Prices are just skyrocketing as well, because those 2 things go hand in hand. If someone's paying more for a property, they need more rent.
Has to be more.
They need more rent to be able to maintain it. And that's kind of what it is. So that's kind of one of the things where we're trying to solve the crisis like that too. Do a rental building, so we can get some people who might not be ready for home ownership into rental, but again, a nice safe space, not somewhere where they're kind of in an environment that they're not comfortable with. Somewhere that's decent. So that's what we're looking forward to.
Yo, you listed a lot of numbers, man, and I noticed that you're a numbers guy, because even when I see you on social, you're talking all these numbers. Even right before this, we were talking about something. Right away, you pull out your calculator, you start putting numbers. So go deeper into that. Talk about numbers. Why do they matter? How do you process things? For your decision making.
Well, numbers are everything, and I think people don't really pay enough attention. A lot of times, I think people's plan is to fail because they don't do the numbers. They buy something right now. Like to me, I wouldn't buy a town in Brampton for 1.4. Not saying you can't make money, but you're really appreciation and speculation. So that's the thing. There's 3 ways to make money. There's equity pay down, there's cash flow, and there's appreciation. You have to respect all 3 of them in the real estate space. I think that people are getting like intoxicated with just like, you know what, I'm just gonna buy something. I don't care what the numbers are. It doesn't matter. I just gotta buy something because
that's what was going on for sure.
I just gotta buy something, and they don't even do the math. So to me, that's where it all starts. In real estate development, there's something called a pro forma. So you have to go down and you put all your numbers down. Here's my construction costs. Here's my loan amount. Here's what I'm going to sell the units for. Here's what I'm going to make in upgrades. Here's my timelines. Everything is pretty much on a performance grid spreadsheet. Everything's there. And the more you do it, the more accurate your spreadsheet becomes because okay, you've already built stacks. Sure, you know exactly what it's going to cost. You're going to use 70, 80% of your same suppliers. You know what? They're going to give you pricing in advance. So they send you all their numbers in advance. And once they send you the numbers, it's locked in. So they're going to give you a price as long as you sign this contract back. They might hold the price for 6 months, a year, depending what it is. So you kind of already know where your numbers are going to be. But I find a lot of people in life or even in development, they're not really doing that. They haven't really distilled the performer down to art. My performer is a work of art. So I know already going in, okay, this is how much I'm going to make and this is how much everything's gonna cost. So if you don't do that, you're heading for financial ruin. And you have to do that in all aspects of your life, in your finances. Make sure you already know, okay, if I'm gonna go on vacation, this is how much I need to save. If I'm gonna, I wanna buy that new car, this is, whatever it is, make sure you have the plan, not like, jump from the plane and then try to build a parachute on the way down. Have everything there. So I always go through my numbers and it's something I try to instill in other people, especially if they're in that real estate investment space. It's like, hey, listen, really do your numbers. But people won't do them. They'll close and I'm like, but look what rent is here. So maybe rent in Brampton might be $1.80 or $2 a square foot. Rent in Toronto is maybe $3.50. You have to know what the rent is in the area, what you're going to be able to rent for it out. Are you going to be able to carry? Like, what's your 5-year projections? People are just buying real estate with honestly literally no plan. And that's where I think, you'll hear some horror stories where they're buying, shout out to people who are doing what they're doing in Calgary, Edmonton, or whatever the case may be, but I'm not a believer. Like that's just what it is. And if people want to
that's the buzz right now. That's the buzz.
But to me,
you call it what, the Calgary Stampede.
You know what? Because I just think, I'm just a truth teller. And I just want people to be warned. I'm not trying to hate on those guys in Calgary. And honestly, if you're living in Calgary, you want to buy in Calgary, you know what? So be it. But people don't understand because you've gone through it. You've seen a lot of people closing. I had people who bought and they had 100,000 equity and they couldn't close. So now when you're buying in a different province, they cannot be owner occupied unless you're moving there.
It's investment.
So now you need 20%. You can't go through CMHC. But people aren't telling you that. It's just like, oh yeah, buy this. And they have to understand, why do markets move? A lot of this market, again, is supply and demand. It's not like it's a whole fans thing. It's most of the people who are moving from other countries are moving to Ontario, and then the vast majority of those people are moving to the GTA. That's what's fueling this. We have everything here, major sports teams, commerce, Netflix is here, movies, like everything is here, That's why people are moving here. The amount of people who are applying from Saskatchewan and Calgary to work on my site because...
Oh, for real?
Yeah, they're applying to come work for me. I have people right now who are from Regina who are working on my site. Right? Because, they understand this industry is booming or whatever.
It's booming here.
So
it's not going to stop.
The tech hub is amazing here as well, right? We're pouring a lot of money into infrastructure. So people have to really understand why these things are happening. So you don't want to buy in Calgary and, you bought it for $300, which is great. And now it's worth $350 4 years later. I tell people it's better to stay here and get a $600,000 property here, but partner with somebody. So you're still only responsible for 3 and 3. Maybe that's what you can afford. I have no issue with that. But it's better to do that and get some more predictable returns. Because if you're looking at the places that were like the highest appreciating, I think last, like Ottawa, it was like Niagara was one of them. Or really, like, I think someplace in Vancouver. But it's the same old stories. Where is appreciating is where the people are moving to. So people are outthinking themselves. They're like buying property, again, not paying attention to certain things, being just, another basic rule of real estate is location, location, location.
Yes.
That's the first thing. So even before numbers, the first thing is where you're buying.
Okay.
So every number is not equal. If I'm buying 300,000 in Brampton, that's not the same as 300,000 in Curtis, Ontario. No, it's not the same thing. So we have to understand the numbers and what makes sense. And I don't think a lot of people are really doing that. So that's where, you know, they're having problems.
Yeah, most people have, no, you're right. And the numbers, but the numbers, that's the thing. They change all the time, you know, and all that kind of stuff. So you said it's called a performa?
A performa, yeah.
A performa, okay. So before each development, you have your performa, kind of, and then you kind of adapt that to everything else in your life. Before everything else, you have your kind of performa for everything.
You have to have that. So we do that first, and you build the numbers on that, and we already have a pipeline of business. We already understand where we're going to be in the next 5-10 years. So based on what we have today, and obviously that can grow, but it's not going to contract, because we already know where we're at, and you know we leave ourselves enough room for construction material rises and things of that nature. So you might put 5, 6, 7% in your pro forma for unforeseen things. So you don't make, some people make it so lean that, you know, if anything goes wrong, you're going to be in the red. You have to make sure that you have some allowances in there, and they're reasonable. You don't want to make too many allowances and then it doesn't look like the project's going to make money. You might have walked away from a profitable project. So it has to be done very thoughtfully. And but with everyone else, I think how this can apply to someone who's not a developer is really take your time, go over the numbers. Hey, I'm renting in Calgary. I'm going to buy in Calgary. Okay, what's the rent? The builder's like, oh, we're going to give you a 3-year rental guarantee.
Rental guarantee,
Okay, well, what happens
property
after 3
management
years?
and everything,
What happens? Okay, so even though you're managing it, if the tenant doesn't pay, are they going to cover that too? Because sometimes they'll do it, sometimes they won't. You know, now is this developer who's already made their money, they made their 5 million, 10, whatever it is, are they going to want to go back now and honor this commitment? Or are they going to leave you blowing in the wind? Are they going to be there? Are they going to still be standing?
Exactly.
People think it's like, oh, I invested in this company out here and everything's, but things happen in business. Like they'll tell you, like the Fortune 500 company, I think like 30-40% of those same Fortune 500 companies from like 10, 15 years ago, they don't even exist anymore. Like we look at BlackBerry, it might be around, but I don't know.
I have one. What do you mean?
Oh my God.
I'm one of the few.
Oh, goodness, right? But they were shattered. But they were the pinnacle.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? So you might invest and be like, yeah, don't worry. I got this developer over here. They're going to give me a rental guarantee for 3 years. Are they going to be around in 3 years?
No, exactly.
Or are they going to take their money, they're going to build it, and they're going to run and be like, well, you know what? I sold these people the unit. The rental market is way down. We've got 1,000 rental guarantees. We can't manage them. Are we going to we're going to go bankrupt on that and just let these people blow in the wind? Now they have these properties over here in Calgary. Like people don't have any real plans. You know what I'm saying? So to me, especially if you're going to buy an investment, one of my first rules, not just the location it's in, but the location in respect to where you live.
Exactly.
We're going to buy like 2, 3, 4, 5 provinces over.
No.
And there's a problem, then what?
You can't get there.
How are you going to manage it? Oh yeah, I got an issue. I'm going to come see you. No, I'm going to send someone else over there to manage it. I don't even know what it is. I tell people, no matter what walk of life that you're in, you don't have to be a professional real estate developer, you don't have to be a professional agent, but real estate has to be a part of everyone's investment portfolio. I don't even care if you do stocks. I don't like stocks, but it has to be a part of it. So say, I got stocks, or I got crypto, I got mutual funds. Real estate has to be somewhere there, right? It has to be. So you have to learn it. You having someone else manage your property for 3 years is probably the most counterproductive thing that you could do. You didn't manage the rental process. You don't know how to choose tenants. You didn't deal with any issues. Now your 3 years is up. Then what happens? You don't know anything yet.
So sometimes you may not be able to sell it.
You might not be able to sell it. You don't know how to manage it. No, you have to learn the fundamentals. Sometimes it's the best thing that can happen is take a few lumps. Those things will lead you on a different path. So to me, get a property that's close to where you live. People are now in Brampton. They want to buy in Windsor. Why you want to buy 4 hours away? What are you going to go to Windsor to manage a property? No, buy an hour and a half maximum, right? Where you can manage it and learn. It's not just about making money. The basketball players will show you that. They make money, but they have someone else managing their investments. The average NBA player 5 years after they're done playing is broke.
They're broke,
Why? Because they never learned to manage their investments. They made money. You can make money in real estate. Everyone's making money. You buy a house, you're a paper millionaire. Oh, my house went up $1 million. But you can't duplicate it. You don't know how to do it. You don't know how to rent it out. You don't know how to renovate. You don't know how to manage it. What do you know? You bought a pre-con, you made $1 million. Do it again.
Exactly. Oh, that's true.
Do it again. You can't. The market.
It's a market that
the market swept you up. You didn't take any time to learn your trade, and now here you are. Like, oh, I made this money. And the worst thing, right, that happened to me is it's fool's gold. So you could go in there, make a bunch of money on pre-con, but you didn't do your homework. You didn't do your rental. You didn't do any of the other stuff. And now you actually think you know something. That's the worst thing. I know what I don't know, so I don't touch it. But the worst thing is me thinking, I know how to do X, and I don't. That's where you're gonna take the biggest fall. So you gotta learn your craft, and that's why I don't believe in investing all these provinces away and doing stuff. People are buying, they haven't visited there.
What you're saying right now, you're talking. No, I get
you. They haven't been to Calgary. They haven't been to Calgary. They haven't been to the site.
Honestly, I'm like, it's something that came to my desk as well. You know, I was planning to make a trip out there, but
well, at least you got to do that.
Exactly. For sure. You got to go out there. You got to go. But what you're saying too is about the detail, and you're talking about craft. And I seen even the project, to be real, I'm keeping it real, and nothing to you, but when I seen the price of those Niagara stuff, I thought it was gonna be like really cheap stuff inside there. But then I seen the finishes.
I know.
And the finishes are like top of the line. So you're really keen on detail.
Bro, I honestly, that one right there, and I'm hoping, especially the people in the first phase, really understand. You know what? I know we've had some delays, and it's been COVID, and you hear people screaming like, "Oh, when am I getting my unit? When is it closing?" And I have to respect that. But obviously, like right now, honestly, I'm ordering a car, and it's like 18 months. Like they have to understand the supply chain globally. Like just for me to get those fridges, like we're talking to the president of Samsung. People are getting properties delivered with no fridges, so they have to also understand. I could have delivered a product earlier and closed this whole thing out and then finish it like a little Lego piece by piece after. Because that's my right. There's people getting with no floors in. But okay, like according to like the code and Terion and stuff, like they have to have certain things, but it doesn't necessarily like mean you have the countertop. You have a sink with no counter. I took occupancy back in the day. And they had a laundry sink in my kitchen, no counter, because it wasn't ready, and they wanted me to close because they want to start getting occupancy fee money. So a lot of people don't understand and think, oh, this he's delayed. The delay is not good for me. I'll have you guys close, and then I'll collect my check, and I'll come back over the next 5 months in peace. No, I want to do everything the proper way. So this is a message that we definitely want to convey. And I wanted to give people, I don't care if you paid $250,000. I don't care if you paid $300,000 or $400,000. I want to give you a product that you can feel happy and comfortable when you walk in and like, hey, like when I walked in, I was like, yo, I'm going to be honest because, I just bought a new house. You're in my new house. And the finishings they gave me here, and I paid almost $3 million. The finishings they gave me here, they're not equating to the standard finishings I gave in a $250,000 project in Niagara. Right? Like, it's ridiculous. So that's the level we want to go to, where people feel confident buying, knowing that they're going to get a good product, and they're going to get quality. I'm not just going to throw them in something because I can, and they didn't.
They'd probably be appreciative with it, but you just exceeded the expectation.
I hope so.
For sure.
Listen. These people who bought my first phase too are very important to me because we didn't even have a sales center. This is pre-COVID. Now you don't need a sales center, but pre-COVID. Niagara wasn't what it was. It was something that I had a strong belief in.
But you made a pitch. Your pitch was strong. Your pitch was strong.
Yeah, it was. I had to. But those people, they had to believe. It wasn't even the project that believed in me. So for me to repatriate those beliefs, 100%, we're gonna, do it. So people who invest in me, it's a personal thing. It's not just let me make some money. No. Because maybe I can make more money. Charging them for every upgrade. Oh, you want this? You want that? You want that? I didn't do that with people. When I came over here, they gave me $50,000 in free upgrades, but by the time you went through the list of what you wanted, it was like $600,000.
Their $50,000 was probably like done after the first thing you selected.
I don't even think we left the bathroom. So now, because of that energy, when I said, it's like, you know what? I stopped at 50 and I did everything myself. because I saw what it was. It wasn't like 3x.
Yeah.
Listen,
yeah.
I understand even, okay, I gotta make money. I'm supplying this stuff. We're taking, like, I get it.
Yeah.
But 3, 4x, it doesn't make sense. Okay, that counter is really $5,000.
Yeah.
You don't want to charge me 10. You want to charge me 18.
Yeah.
It's like, where did these numbers come from? But because most people are in this industry, they know, like, you don't want to do that. And they also know, developers know, that, okay, if you don't do it now you're gonna have to pay and you're gonna have to bring this counter in after, and now you're gonna have to pay money at the end of it. So you've already put down your percentage and you've done everything. Now you're gonna have to put down more money. So a lot of people don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So that's what they're on.
But you're doing that though.
Right, so I'm giving them everything so they don't have to come back and do a renovation after they close.
Yeah.
You know, like the post new construction renovation.
Yeah.
So you have a brand new construction and you're like, oh man, this is Formica countertops.
Yeah.
Oh my God, this is like 8mm laminate. Oh my God, it's coming. Oh my goodness, I gotta change all the faucets, all the top, all the light fixtures, all the things. Right? And now you've already had all this money to close. Yeah. But if you're gonna charge people 4x, 3x for upgrades, people are gonna make tougher decisions.
Of course.
So I'm gonna charge for upgrades. I'm gonna make money on upgrades, but I'm gonna make a reasonable amount of money where they can choose to do the upgrades, enjoy their space, get a higher value on resale, and not have to renovate the property after. And if they don't put in any upgrades, they're still gonna get a product that they can be happy with.
Exactly, a product that looks like fully upgraded.
It looks
pretty much.
Like they gave me the little lights with the little bulbs.
That's
you know what I'm saying on the thing. Like, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, okay. Right? But again, like, I'm at 3 mil. It's not even like I gave people with the bulbs. Okay, I gave you the bulbs, you paid 300 grand. Maybe we can reconcile it. But I paid 10x.
Yeah.
Right? And I'm still getting those. So, I mean, I think we all have to kind of hold ourselves to a little bit of a higher standard. Yeah. And so that's what we're doing.
So I talked to Aaron Charles, and even when I was talking to Isaac and hearing you as well, and it seems like you guys all have the same concept when it comes to developing. Like, you really take a sense of pride to it. Like, it's like an art to you in a sense, right?
Well, you know what? I mean, at heart, I'm an artist. Okay. Like, at the end of the day, I'm a businessman, but I'm an artist. Like, the architect doesn't give me drawings. I go down and sit with the architect. We come up with concepts together. He brings them to life because he has the technical acumen to do that. I don't. But we go through everything together. I'm sitting there with him like, he'll tell you. And my architect saw, he's amazing because there's no ego. When we work back and forth. Like, he can tell me, sure, that's not gonna work, and he's not gonna crush my ego, he's not gonna hurt my feelings. And I can tell him, no man, this layout isn't right. I go through every layout myself. There's no dogs in my layout. So there's nothing, oh man, that bathroom's in the kitchen. Like, I see certain layouts that people are doing. I'm like, how did this even come here? It's not a closet, this is a shoebox. So there's certain things that we do where I make every layout functional. Even there's like 407, one of my layouts is 424 square feet, but it's completely functional. I could live there. It's not an issue. It's halfway below grade, but we made the windows big enough where you have light. So I do it in such a way that I can live there. I would live in any one of those units and I have no issue. And I kind of feel like if you can't live in the unit or you wouldn't live in the location, don't build it for somebody else. No, I like that. You're always thinking about other people, and that's where I want to go before we fully wrap up. I want to go to you, helping out people, because every time I see you, that's what you're doing. Like, I see you have a team around you. One of my close friends that got me to meet you as well from the mixer, Callie. You guys know, I know him as Callie from high school. So I know him. Like, we grew up together, so I know where he came from too. And just to see him now, I seen him at the other time. I was like so proud of the guy. I know he's proud of me too, but like, it's a mutual thing because we know the come up. And he pretty much made a complete 360. So you don't need to do that. So I want you to talk about, like, why is that important to bring people under your wing and show them the way? Well, listen, I think giving back is pretty much the most important thing, right? Like, my dad, like I said, he's in sales, but he was also a minister in his community, right? And so he always gave back, and we had different people living with us from time to time who had issues at home. He was always that. He was a father to like 8 of my friends. Some of them didn't have fathers, some of them had fathers who weren't there, whatever the case may be. He was always, even if they had a father, he was a supplementary dad. He was always that dad who would drop us off and pick us up. And he was that guy who knew where I was and made me be accountable. And then my mom's a teacher for many years. Obviously, she's a superintendent now. But we come from a family that really believes 100% in giving back to the community. That's why we did Habitat for the Humanity the other day, which, you know, shout out to Habitat. But it's a great charity, and to meet everybody there. But I think it has to be part of who you are. And so there's a bunch of people I mentor. So I have another young lady I mentor. She's from Montreal, and she texted me the other day. This is happening bad, and that's happening bad. And she had a list. So every day she would text me, there's a new list of bad things that's happening to her. And I just stopped one day and said, like, listen, what are you putting out in the world right now? What are you doing? That's good, that's positive. And she had to stop and think. And I said, if you want to turn this whole thing around, what you got to do is you got to go out and put good into the world. That's what keeps me in the seat I'm in, because I'm always giving back. So if I fall, which we're all going to fall, I can call you. And you'd be like, oh man, I remember that time. He gave me an hour of his time and we did the interview. Let me help him out. Or I remember that time. Now maybe it never comes. But if it does, I know that I have a community in a village. So I told her, hey, listen, stop worrying about yourself and your situation. Go out and help somebody else. Go out and put good. I believe in energy. You know, a lot of this young kids are, oh, what about energy? And keep that energy. And they have to understand where it comes from. The same way I believe when you turn on that light, that electricity flows and we get these pot lights on, is the same energy that comes. It's something that you don't see, like gravity, but it's there. So if I put out positivity in the world, and I'm here and I'm sharing my time and space with you, we have that connection, that connectivity. It's gonna breed positivity. So to me, it's a fundamental part of who I am, and it's a fundamental part of business. That's how I got paid that commission, because I put positive energy in there. I'm not in court, so I always try to do it. Even if I have to take a loss, sometimes, you know, I ask people, you know what would you do? Like, here's a question for you. There's a deal, right? It's $1 million deal. You're buying a property for yourself, and you know this thing is worth $1 million. Now you got a seller who doesn't know. You're smarter than the seller, and they're gonna give it to you for $9. Are you gonna take that and be like, yo, I just got a good deal? Or are you gonna be like, hey, Mr. Seller, this is really worth $1 million, just so you know, how do you wanna proceed? Or are you gonna just hold the 9 and just let it be?
Most people are gonna hold the 9, keep it real, you know?
But that's where you have to ask yourself.
Yeah, exactly, no, it's true.
Are you gonna hold the 9? Because me, I'll tell you right now, I wouldn't hold the 9. I would tell him, like, there's a certain variance. Like, I'm a Harvard certified negotiator. I know how to negotiate. I wanna get a good deal, but I think there's something that's a little bit outside it. Now, if, say this guy's a seasoned vet and he does this, we're on the same level. It is where the chips
now
are
it's a
gonna
negotiation
fall.
where you could,
that's it.
But
if there's somebody who doesn't know, honestly, even for my purchasers, I feel like I have a right to protect them. Because they don't know. So I'm never gonna take advantage of someone, even if it's like, oh, this is a good deal, it's business. It's never just business for me. Right? So that's why I think people have to put themselves on the other end. If we're two professionals who are negotiating and they have the proper representation, okay, that's fine. But sometimes you're negotiating with someone who just really doesn't know. And they think they know. Maybe they've overestimated their acumen in something. I'll pull them aside and say, hey, listen, like, this is what's really happening here. Because to me, I'm going to make money. Whether it's this deal or another deal, I'm going to make money. But if I can just maintain and do the right thing, like my grandfather told me before he signed for my documents, he had to sign for my school loan. I needed a school loan to go to university, and he came. He was working at Chevy. He was there like 50 years. He came out on break to sign the paperwork. I pulled up. He was just about to sign, and he said, your name is worth more than silver and gold. You must, you know, it's old, you know, wisdom, biblical wisdom. But at the end of the day, and then he signed. Because his name was worth, he could sign for me. So to me, I don't want to put that in the atmosphere where someone feels like, oh yeah, I know Sherard took advantage of me because he could, I didn't know any better. You know what I'm saying? Sherard sold me something over here that he didn't need to sell me, or he charged me 4x for upgrades when he could have charged me 2x or 1.5x and still 8 and still let me live. I don't want it, right? Because that's all I have is my name, right? And so I think we have to protect that, and giving back is obviously a part of that. And I think that's what allows me to thrive. I'm always giving back with a lot of positive energy.
I see that. And that's one of the main principles in the map book, contribution. And that's why I see all the time from you. Like, even when I met you, you know, and, you know, we didn't really know each other. Like, yo, here, keep my number.
Right,
You know,
that's
and
what I
like
do.
you know, and I don't really know you from nowhere. You know,
Yeah.
and you're out here making big moves. You know, that meant a lot. It's like, yo, this guy's like really for the people. You know, that's how I took it as. You know, so like keep doing that. You know, and before we really sign out, I want you to like share like, okay, from now and what's your vision now? Like, where do you want to go from here? Like, you know, and so we could know, we could assist you. You know, like, like where's your mindset at right now?
Well, right now, we want to just provide affordable or say attainable or achievable housing for people in all walks of life. I mean, that's what we're looking for. So we're always actively looking for sites in and around the GTA that are regional. We're looking for joint ventures, so JV partners, people who might have land who want to build and who want to share the same mandate. If there's any counselors or people from the city out there who want to bring us to their location and they want to, you know, open their arms to myself, and obviously I have other developers I work with, so we can provide, you know, different housing types. That's what we're open to. So this is my main thing right now. Obviously I have other aspirations that are outside of real estate long term, because I think, you know, all of us are diverse.
Yeah.
And like I said, I'm an artist, so I want to just be able to bring stuff to people. And you know, it's a lot of times when I do the social media, and I was out with my nephew the other day, and then some young kid said, "Oh man, I seen you from TikTok." But it's also about education. So I want people to share your content, watch your podcast, and share this with other people.
Yes,
Let them know what it is. You have to share it. You know, you can't keep knowledge to yourself.
Yes.
So that's what we're doing now. We're just sharing, you know, with just fully transparency.
Yeah.
Giving all transparency and sharing the knowledge, and I think each one has to teach one. So we all, like, I'm on YouTube. I just started learning about life insurance and overfunding the policy and stuff.
Okay.
And I'm learning online from someone I don't know who's teaching me, and they don't know me.
Yeah.
I might probably never meet them.
Yeah.
But they just taught me something that I never learned. You know what I'm saying? So the question is, like, how can we empower other people?
Yes.
So what they have to do is, when they see stuff like this, and it's not, you know, a cat chasing a fur ball around or whatever.
That get like 10 million views.
like, let's make this stuff go viral.
Exactly.
Someone who's showing you
exactly.
how to make money, someone who's trying to put you onto something where, hey, here's a map, here's a way to live your life, to be financially secure, so you can pass that down on from generations, and so we can all, you know, lift up and uplift each other.
Of course, and that's the foundation, and that's why having people like you is so important to come on here, because you're talking about that, like, you know, like people see you, they know that you're established. You don't need to be on the set. You could be doing other things, but you're always just sharing, giving stuff out, contribution, and let's get that out there. And like you said, we need to work together. You know, like that's what, like I said, I'm here. I'm a real estate broker. You know, I know other real estate brokers. You're a developer. You're also a broker. There's a lot of different agents that are out here, and it's so new. Like I was saying that the other day too. It's true. It's so new. Like there's infrastructure that's not even set out here right now. So like there's so much room for all of us to grow. You know, and that's what it's like. You know, people in your position. Thank you for, you know, actually open yourself up. You know, open yourself to your home, to everything that you do, to your number, to all the people that are around you that are building. You know, and yeah, I know we support your vision. You know, and I see on TikTok, I see the stuff you have. I reposted some. I think even Shaq reposted one that you had there. You know,
Diesel was one of my favorite players growing up. Lakers 5X champion.
That
was before the Raptors. I'm gonna tell you that, because now I'm a diehard Raptors man. But we didn't have a team back then. So the Lakers, Kobe Bryant, you know, God bless his family and everything. That was my team. And so in Shaq, you know, it was one of those full circle moments. So shout out to the Diesel.
But that just shows from your contribution. Look what it did. You said, it went viral, and then, you know, you put it out there, but then he put it out to so many other people.
Because there's a much wider net, and that's what I think those moments are the ones that need to go viral, because we're here, we're trying to empower people, but it also, the people's mindset have to be open to it. They have to be in a growth mindset. You know, because what goes viral tells you this is what people are thinking about. So when we see other stuff like that go viral, we understand there's a paradigm shift where people are looking for this type of information, and that's obviously what spurred me on to say, you know what, we got to keep going. Right? Because, you know, I was posting for a year or 18 months, and we weren't getting really any traction, and then boom, and now people are starting to see. But we were undaunted, because we knew we had a vision. Like one of the young guys I mentored, Daniel King Soul, shout out to King Soul, he's over there getting a haircut. We're
looking
on set.
fresh right now.
He's getting fresh. But at the end of the day, he's the one who put me on social media. I was like, no, I'm good.
Okay.
and I didn't really want to be out there because for my generation it wasn't it's not a natural thing for me.
Yeah.
And he's like, no, we got to do it because we have to pay it forward, and this is one of his ways to show to pay it forward, because obviously I did a lot of stuff behind the scenes or whatever, but this is what part of his vision. So a lot of times you might be mentoring someone and not really realize that you might wind up getting just as much from them or more than they're giving you. So it's always a symbiotic. So that's another reason why I tell people to give and give freely of your time and resources.
Wow, that's amazing. Guys, we have Sherard McQueen, Well Top Podcast. You know, he gave a lot, and I know you have a lot more, but you know, I respect your time, and I appreciate you for giving me your time, man. You know, so yeah, thank you. Tune in. This is an amazing episode. We got a lot of gems, and as you know, we're going to be sending them out to you, because what we do is we break them up. So you know, we have the full thing. It's going to be on YouTube, Spotify, but then we break them up into pieces. So all these little gems, because you give a lot of them, we're going to send them out there. You know what I mean?
Perfect.
So I appreciate your time.
Thank you.
God bless you, brother.
All right.
Keep doing what you're doing, man. All right.
Take care.
Yes.